Today on Drawbli,
I am painting everyone on Earth.
hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are drawing together because art is better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And check out our guidebook on daily drawing, linked below. Abby, how could you paint everyone on Earth?
Well, maybe not on Earth, but I have been drawing a lot of people from earthsworld.com.
What?
Oh, fabulous.
What is earthsworld.com?
It is a website by a photographer who goes to state fairs in America and takes pictures of the state fair goers and puts them on his website. They're usually caught in candid moments, and they're candid people, and I drew a bunch of them on paper with a pen, and then I moved those sketches into Procreate to add color and form.
So you drew these traditionally,
Yes.
and then you somehow pulled them into Procreate.
Yeah, I have one method for doing that I found online by Art with Flow.
Top secret technique.
It honestly took me a really long time to find it this time around. I had to do a lot of changing the wording of my Google search, but I found it again, thank goodness. And so I was able to set it up so that I can paint under my lines pretty easily.
And considering you did a lot of these, I'm guessing you're a pro at that process now.
I will probably forget most of it by the time I go to do it again, but I'm a lot better.
Maybe you should make a tutorial for other people here so that when you need it again, you can find it.
Well, they're in luck because I have a video that will come out soon in which I actually was able to record my hand drawing with the pen. So you get the actual drawing stage as well as the painting stage.
Fancy.
So then you'll see, and I think in that one too, I showed my little process sped up for how I converted it in Procreate so that I could draw on the sketch.
Well, you'll have to walk us through that. That was very cool, and I do remember this one as well. This one is incredible.
This one is actually my favorite. It's based on, a reference from earthsworld.com of this old man asleep in a wheelchair near a ketchup and mustard dispenser, and I found it to be the most precious thing in the world. Also, drawing his motorized wheelchair was really, really fun. It's all angles, and it's totally wrong. You can't see I don't have the reference here, obviously, but if I did, you would see I've made it a good foot longer than it actually is in real life.
I think it works. Whatever proportional differences you have here work very well.
Thanks. He's just probably got a slightly longer leg than he does in the photo too, but I like it anyway.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. This is cool.
Thank you. It was hard to do though, because this is a learning phase for me. I think I've told you before, or what I was complaining to you about was I get so lost, once I've added the color, just a basic color, I feel like
underneath your sketch.
Yeah, and then I'm like, well, I don't know what to do from here. It's done, I guess. I can't go over it. I can only go under it. Oh no, I'll have to go through it.
You've mentioned that many times, yeah.
So in this video, towards the end, I've included the footage from when you came across me just what do I do? Yeah, I think I'm as far done as I can possibly be.
And what did I say?
You said you can draw on top of the sketch, and I said, but then it won't look the same. And you showed me how it will look the same, but it can look better. Because I think my problem was every time I try to draw on top of the sketch, I don't know what I'm doing, and it looks bad. And so you're like, here's how we do it.
I love how you keep saying I don't know what I'm doing, like you're in an infomercial. I didn't know how to draw.
Does this happen to you? Yeah, basically is how it felt. Come in and draw on top of your lines with Ben's one-domatic method for drawing on top of the lines.
You need My Husband. For 3 easy payments of $19.99, you too can have My Husband teach you art.
So for this image, I painted in most of the color. Then I went away from it, and I drew with you and learned what you taught me.
My dark secrets.
But I went ahead and added the footage in now of when I came back to this and started to draw on top of the lines a little bit like you'd shown me.
I also see you're doing some gradient stuff.
Yes, that you showed me as well. A nice, easy way to add interest to just a flat color of on a clipping mask, painting in a really bright color on one side and a really bright color on the other side, and then just blurring them really, really a lot, and you get like a subtle gradient shift, which I like a lot more than going in with an airbrush and trying to paint that in manually on a layer. It just feels a lot more clean the way you showed me to do it. So thank you. This has been a great week. I've learned a lot from you this week, and so it's been a really good week for Drawbli, sharing what we know. I wish I had more to share with you. Someday I'll have something I know that I can share with you.
No, that's okay. I learn a lot from watching you and the way you work, especially your lines.
Yeah, I do love lines. Lines are one of my favorite things in drawing.
I'm pretty familiar with the technical aspects of like Photoshop, Procreate, etc. So it's rare that I see a new technique that I haven't seen before, but I did see one recently from Mark Brunet, who is a pretty famous YouTuber in the art space. But that looks amazing, let me just say.
Thank you.
But I will probably make a video on this technique here coming up very soon because I utilized it in a frog painting that I made.
I can't wait to see.
I will talk about it more then.
Oh, did you see me do the gradient thing
I
there?
saw your gradient in there. Yeah, it was great.
I also showed how I took the photo, and briefly you see me sped up, of course, you probably can't tell what I'm doing, but how I converted that over to be able to draw under the sketch.
Briefly describe the process.
So first you shift in the curves. You shift it so it's as like starkly black and white as possible, and like really sharply contrasted white.
This is your image of your line art?
Yes.
Like your traditional
image? So my photograph. And then you just cut out like the picture of what you want to paint and fill in the rest with white around it. So like the countertop that was behind it, I filled that in with white and merged that down.
Okay.
Then you swipe down and hit copy on that layer. Then you make a new layer, fill it with black, convert it to mask, and then on the top portion of mask,
this is getting complex.
Swipe down and hit paste, and then you do that a few times and realize you've done it wrong somehow.
Well, maybe we should get a full tutorial from you later. I didn't know that there were 500 steps.
Yeah.
I thought that this would be a little more simple.
No, it's a complex
very
process.
Complex,
very
apparently.
complex. So.
Is this the guy that... This is not the guy that we painted.
This isn't, but this is like the first one you saw me doing that you were like, I think my wife needs help. Just a little bit.
I showed you the gradient thing on this guy. I do remember that.
Yeah. So this is where I started doing the gradients a little bit more, and trying to put in like the areas of color on the face, like yellow near the top.
Oh yeah, we did have a
blue.
mini lesson about this guy.
Yeah, we did. And it was really, really fun. So fading that out. And this has so much been helping me really reanalyze how I do skin in general. And it's really helped me get away from all the muddy, muddy skin I've created in the past.
What do you think makes painting skin muddy?
Brush strokes on top of each other.
Do you think it's like the brush strokes that make it look muddy?
I think so, because then you have all this competing texture and color, and they interact with each other, and it just looks muddy, bad.
But you could also have like muddy colors without muddy brush strokes, right?
Yeah.
So it's maybe a slight combination of both.
Probably.
Who's to say? Not us.
Well, maybe you more than me, but yeah, I like this guy. I gave him a red background because he ended up looking angry.
Oh.
I doubt the actual reference was angry. He probably was just looking in a direction and just innocently minding his own business. I
So
like
angry.
these guys.
So angry. Yeah, these are awesome. Look, like your lines are so cool in this. His hair, like the way you created that so haphazardly, but so controlled.
I know, I love that part. Yeah, I love drawing on just printer paper with a G2 Pilot .38 pen.
Okay.
It's my favorite. It's such a fine tip, so controlled.
I have purchased you many of these pens. I know.
It's the sweetest thing.
It is Abby's favorite pen in the world, the .038 G2 Pilot pen.
And I love that you buy them for me, because I could buy them, but you buy them for me, and that's really sweet.
The ultimate sacrifice of a husband, yes.
I know.
So it was this guy on the left that I helped you with.
Yes, so I think I filled them in with color, and you came around, and I said, well, they're done. And you said, what? And I said, that's all I can do. And you said, that's all? I mean, they look great, but isn't there more? And I said, no. And so we sat down and did a lesson because I was like, look, I put in the gradients of the colors. You see the yellow, the red, the blue. And I filled in the color of his hair.
So Abby is very good at drawing and very good at painting, but she did not. How do I explain? You, for some reason, have it caught in your head or stuck in your head that you cannot paint on top of your lines.
Well,
so all you needed was someone to show you one time that you can do it.
And that it doesn't have to turn out awful, and that it can look better than when you started.
Yeah, but I didn't show you anything that you didn't know how to do.
Oh, that's not true. That is not true. I had no idea what I was doing.
No, nonsense.
So this is how we started, and you said,
I said.
And so you said, okay, merge all this, merge it all in. Come on, merge it all in. And I said, okay. And he said, get rid of that. We're just going to focus on this guy. We're just going to focus on him. And then we went in and we started blending a little bit. You had him up on your iPad too, so I was just following along on my iPad. And you said, this ear, fill all that in, fill that in. And then fill it with color and fade out the color. And I said, oh, okay. And he says, look, you can
hold
add
on.
light where
So
he's
settle
getting
down,
light.
settle down. A lot of that was because the ear was too distracting.
Yes.
You had a lot of dark shapes going on.
And then we added
there.
the blue, and that was such a pro strat. You're like, and then you put in the blue, and that's dark, and put that in anywhere where there's like a cast shadow, make it this blue, and then you can fade that out. And I said, oh my gosh, that looks so much better. Because now already he has so much more depth and interest. And then you showed me all this like texturing stuff to make him look even better, where we added like this weird mottled appearance to his skin that at first I was worried about, but then you showed me it didn't have to be worrisome. And then we just picked colors from that and added in more strokes. And it was turning out so cool. I was so excited.
Do you show a before and after on him?
Yeah, I think I flipped back and forth
Okay.
in the end so you can see. And then we added a little bit of noise, and then kept going and just painting in light where light was going to be naturally from the sun, and shadow where shadow would be, and trying to, adding a little light there. Oh, it was just so interesting. Look. Even now we're looking at it and it's different.
So different.
Yes. So here he is. Bonk. And see how different that is? Isn't that crazy?
It definitely looks more rendered.
It does look more rendered. I know. And that's just the beginning.
Yeah?
Like I'm figuring these out. And then I included these guys just because I didn't include the process. But I love them too. His
I love
wheelchair
them
looks
too.
cool.
Wow, you are so good at doing these wheelchairs.
Thank you. I should become a professional wheelchair drawer.
And if you want to become a professional wheelchair drawer, click that like and subscribe button.
And don't forget to check out our guidebook on daily drawing, linked below.
And this is the part where we say,
Goodbye.
Goomba.
If I ever got a wheelchair, I would just draw it.
Okay, well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
I wouldn't need it. I would just have it.
You just want to buy a wheelchair to draw.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty at work I can draw, actually.